Because they have been engaged in a battle against women that they cannot hope to win, males are progressively pulling back from the dating sector. The following is taking place: things of value and a positive nature. The number of men and people in authoritative positions who are withdrawing from the dating market is increasing. I'll explain why in a moment, but first, let's take a look at how the dynamics of the 1970s and 1980s changed, as well as how new ideas came forth. After the country was freed, things started to change for the better. The love fads of the 1960s, the late 1990s, and the early 2000s inspired women to behave in a manner that was consistent with their true selves. The passage of time resulted in the development of a plethora of online forums, and the idea of pickup artistry became increasingly widespread. Evidently, men had uncovered a method through which they might comprehend the nature of women and use this comprehension to their advantage. As the dynamics of society altered and women gained an increasing number of perks, new subreddits and communities catering to women's interests emerged at the same time. Over the course of at least 8 years of these discussions, men from all over the world discussed the nature of women and the degree to which things have deteriorated since the beginning of these discussions. A poor risk-to-reward ratio has been brought to the attention of men from a wide variety of backgrounds and walks of life. Concerning the manner in which they should approach women in general, they have gotten together to discuss the matter. It has opened up human nature to the point that when one takes the red pill, it becomes popular and symbolizes a whole ideology. On the other hand, if you talk to anyone about the red pill, they will eventually come around to your point of view. There have been millions of people who have tried to debunk notions associated with the red pill, but those beliefs always appear to be proven correct. At this very moment, the fundamental nature of the world is becoming apparent. It is now more likely than ever before that women will predominate in the process of divorcing, which has led to an increase in the participation of men, who controlled a significant portion of the riches and power. The judicial system has been responsible for the significant reduction in wealth and influence experienced by a number of well-known celebrities, including Johnny Depp. It is mind-boggling how far the world has gone to the point that even famous and powerful individuals are learning to recognize harmful games. It demonstrates just how far the world has come. They are singing songs that are relevant to the current situation. Once upon a time, men of means enjoyed complete safety from danger. As a result of what a woman said, even affluent and powerful guys are coming. Many people who have enjoyed years of celebrity and influence are now losing their jobs. They have come to the realization that they are no longer secure, which has led to their adoption of the concepts associated with the red pill. Just recently, Vince McMahon was the target of an attack just like this one. You are going to see that a lot of gurus and internet stars, like Andrew Tate, end themselves in authoritative positions. People like him end up getting blacklisted because they draw attention to the red pill, which is something that the media just cannot afford, even if you've spent years building your wealth and your network of relationships. In a world in which women hold an unmatched power advantage over men, all it takes is for one woman to speak her mind to bring you to your knees. If we assume that taking the red pill represents the ultimate realization that a significant number of men have reached, how long do you think it will be before the majority of men come to the conclusion that women behave in ways that are completely contrary to what they have been led to believe? In terms of human behavior, when you see men like Andrew Tate gaining traction and likes from people all over the world, you realize that the time has come for men all over the world to view women as they truly are. This realization comes about as a result of seeing men like Andrew Tate gaining traction and likes from people all over the world. This information contributes to an explanation for why a sizable proportion of men with high-value skills are choosing to leave the labor force. They have only acknowledged that they were in the wrong, and came to the realization that the mechanisms of wealth are not what they used to be, and that scandals and rape charges have the ability to completely terminate their life. The one fundamental aspect that has not altered is the fact that men in the middle movement are still governed by their biological tendencies. This is the only thing that has not changed. The situation in mgtow has already developed further. Mental worth was important to a couple of these folks. They have completely given up on women because they consider the worth that they can bring to be more significant than the worth that a woman can provide in terms of her biological capabilities. The overwhelming majority of these men do not feel the need to have female companionship in order to be happy. The idea of sleeping with multiple women is substantially less important to these men than having a woman who can fulfill the role of mental equal partner for both of them. In the culture we live in today, it seems impossible for guys like these to have a successful family with a typical and mature wife. Because of this, they have arrived at the decision that this problem has nothing to do with women, which is the same conclusion that each of us has arrived at. When men in general are finally able to see beyond their biological predispositions and acknowledge what is actually happening to them, that will be the most significant and transformative moment in human history, in my opinion. When this occurs, and only when this occurs, will the power that women have over us be able to be rendered meaningless, and when this occurs, and only when this occurs, will we be able to convey to them that intelligence is the most important factor. A woman can provide the genuine explanation for the existing imbalance in the dating market, which is that women are not in a position of negotiating power. This argument is that women do not have the ability to negotiate. The people at the top of the market express their ideals and standards, men work toward achieving them, and those who are successful leave the rest of the market in their wake. Just for a moment, try to picture a world in which, over the course of the past 2 decades, guys have, at long last, been behaving like men rather than napping. Imagine if every time a woman used her body to get favors and exercise authority, a man asked her, "Why should I do all of this for 3 minutes of worthless pleasure?" Think about the impact that would have on society. You are without a doubt deranged. This is the future that awaits me if I choose to have a more optimistic outlook on life. The most significant loss will take place when high-value males, such as actors and millionaires, quit the workforce because they are aware of the risk-to-reward ratio of sleeping with women and have chosen to refrain from doing so. This will be the event that causes the highest loss. When people of such high standing, such as actors and millionaires, leave, their absence is keenly felt by others around them. They will be forced to compete for the attention of men who no longer desire them, and if there is one thing on which everyone can agree, it is that women will never attain actual power, which includes wealth and influence. The remaining women will have no choice but to admit their positions. They will be forced to compete for the attention of men who no longer desire them. The vast majority of men billionaires and millionaires got their wealth by their own efforts, whereas the vast majority of female millionaires either came from wealthy families at birth or obtained their wealth through divorce. This is the true, despite the common belief that the vast majority of male billionaires and millionaires are the products of their own hard work. Since you are already familiar with the answer, I won't bother explaining it to you anymore. The good news is that market alphas are becoming aware of these characteristics, and as a result, they are moving themselves into the same category as the rest of us men as these facts become increasingly unclear. Women are always honing their discriminating abilities and getting better at it. The dynamics of the dates that the alpha females of the market arrange for their leviathans are determined by those alpha females, and as a consequence, the lives of the men who are chosen by women as partners are ruined. Because, as you almost certainly are aware, there isn't much to do in this region. I don't know about you, but as for me, I've decided to go full mgtow for a very long time with these men. I don't know what you've decided to do. If you're a young man and your hormones are driving you crazy, just wait a few years, and you'll see how frantic women are to get married and start a family. This is especially true if you're a young male. If the mgtow continues to rise at the same rate as it is now, men will start to wonder what all the debate about women was about, and they will spend their leisure time working on projects, playing sports, and being in shape rather than focusing on women's issues. A great number of males are now coming to the realization that this is the fact, and as a result, they are taking pleasure in the sense of inner serenity that comes along with this realization. This has been done for an extended period of time by a huge number of men of high status in a variety of different settings. Since they were planning to squander all of that money on dinner dates, it is possible that they will invest in a new drone and make progress on their photography project instead. Think about how Leo DiCaprio starts dating a new lady every 5 years and how he refuses to settle down, and then consider how the lives of married men are getting worse every day. In addition, the typical age at which people get married is increasing, and a greater number of people than ever before are talking about the legalities of divorce. Many affluent guys are coming to the realization that they are caught in a trap as a direct result of this tendency. As a closing remark, I would like to point out how ironic it is that in their pursuit of power and advancement through the ranks, women have sacrificed their own power by enacting discriminatory laws and making women the target of discrimination, despite the fact that women are the most powerful gender in offices and the media. I say this because it is ironic that women have done this. Women are, to some extent, to blame for their own extinction because, throughout history, they have belittled, cheated on, and stolen from men all across the world. These guys ultimately swallowed the red pill, which resulted in their participation in the greatest successful men's rights movement in the annals of human history. They stole a perfect environment that was full of bidders who could have given them perfect lives, pretended that she was a queen, and then urinated all over it. They did this because they wanted perfect lives. These men have reached adulthood, recognized their mistakes, and have decided to withdraw from the competition. A valuable lesson for you men is to never forget to keep a GTFO and to never put women on a pedestal since they are not deserving of it.